Joining us now is our guy, Mr. Newy Scruggs from Dallas. What up, Newy?
What up,
How are you,
Newy?
buddy?
Hey, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother.
to
What's
you,
happening
man.
with you?
Is what you want most this 2025 for Jerry to sell the boys?
Nah, man. Jerry entertaining, bro. Jerry good for business. Jerry good for business for you too.
Oh yeah,
right? Jerry
not
good
bad.
for business for a lot. Jerry good business for a whole lot of people, man. So, nah, man. I've always said maybe a sad day when that man passed away. So, Jerry good for business.
So seriously though, to that point, Jerry is obviously an absolute amazing businessman. Cowboys are probably worth, I mean, nobody's actually going to sell them. If you actually sold the Cowboys, they're probably worth like $15 billion or something. I don't know.
A lot of money.
Right? But at some point, Jerry's got to decide what they're about. Is it about the business side of this or chasing championships? What do you think happens, not necessarily before Sunday, but Sunday, Monday going forward for Dallas?
I don't know. And I think anybody tries to tell you they think they know, they don't know. He's an 82-year-old emotional man now. One thing I wish Jerry would do, and I put a commentary out there, I wish Jerry would go back to being, 47-year-old Jerry, who was bold, who bought the team, who fired Tom Landry and hired Jimmy Johnson. That guy who was out there making deals because he needed money with American Express to become the official credit card of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And now that whole sponsorship thing, man, he was that guy.
Yep.
He's not that guy anymore. So that's the issue is which guy do you want to be? I remember when they passed on Johnny Manziel, he wanted Johnny in the worst way. And Stephen and Will McClay convinced him not to do it, son, Stephen Jones. And he said to Stephen, son, I bought the Dallas Cowboys not laying up. That was a layup in terms of golfing.
Yeah.
So, if you want to keep Mike McCarthy and running things the way you run them, fine. All you got to do, though, is to really understand the Cowboys is go look at that Netflix teaser that they got coming up, where he said it's bigger than football. 365 days a year. Like he gave you the whole game right there. The whole game right there. Like, okay, yeah, guess what? This thing it's not really all about football. I'll give you a good example. Last year, I was at Carolina in Charlotte for the game between the Panthers. And that's when Jimmy was out there. We're like, what is Jimmy doing here? I mean, Jimmy Johnson, it was just a summer ago. He told me that he didn't have time for Jimmy sniveling about getting in the Ring of Honor. He was mad at Jimmy. We see Jimmy and Jerry on the field waving. Next thing you know, they take over the Fox broadcast, talk about Jimmy's getting in the Ring of Honor. Then they come in the bowels of the stadium and hold a press conference. We're 15 minutes till kickoff. They start the press conference. Kickoff happens, they're still in the press conference.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then Jerry laughs. He's like, all right, guys, I got to go. I got to go call some plays.
But
then he walks up there like, oh, yeah, there's a football game. So you know what the story was we did after the game, guys? It's about Jimmy getting a Ring of Honor. It wasn't about the game.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they beat Carolina Panthers. But, yeah, December 30th, Jimmy Johnson finally getting the Ring of Honor. That's what Jerry does, man. So there you go.
So, well, as you look forward, McCarthy, is he the coach of the team next year?
I don't know. Once again, I don't know how emotional and where he is with it. He hasn't given us enough clues. Jerry got older. He got more patient. I don't think the patience is what he needs to do. I like Mike first. I like Mike. But he had 5 years. And when he got here, the charge was simple. Be better than Jason Garrett. Go further than Jason Garrett. That hasn't happened.
Nope.
And so many people are like, well, where do we go? He's done this or that. I mean, he is like 12th on the all-time win list. But somebody had really talked to me this week and last week, and they kind of said, you know what? Guess what? Other people are finding solutions. Look no further than what you guys have in Washington. DQ. You went and found a solution. The Rams went and found Sean McVay. Minnesota found KOC. 49ers found Kyle Shanahan. You can go find answers. At one point in time in this game, Jerry found Jimmy. So do you want to just run it back with Mike McCarthy? I don't really know if that's going to move the fan base, and the ultimate salesman is going to have a hard time trying to sell Mike McCarthy, because it's not like you're going to sell Mike McCarthy, hey, guys, we're back for one more year. Mike McCarthy's a free agent. So if he comes back here, he's going to want a 3 to 4 year deal. So, okay, guys, you're signing up now for a total of 8 years of Mike McCarthy or 9 years of Mike McCarthy. How many people are ready for that?
Yeah. And you're so – does it – talking with our friend Newy Scruggs from Dallas, covers the Cowboys. Do you think DQ coming here and having the immediate success, does Jerry even notice that? Is that something – because now, granted, they dealt with a lot of injuries, but the Cowboys defense is kind of falling apart without him.
No. I mean, I say from this standpoint, Jerry loved DQ, by the way, okay? Loved DQ.
He's a great dude. I can see that.
To keep him around there, yes. And he paid him his head coach money to stay. But DQ would have had the same problems Mike had because Jerry wasn't spending any money, okay? At the end of the day, DQ ran out the door and took a bunch of good players with him on defense.
Yeah.
Took Joe Witt with him, and so you had that. And then the Cowboys didn't replace those players. Then the guys they thought they were going to go with couldn't get it done. They decided to go with a rookie center and a rookie left tackle, neither which ever played the positions before in college. There was a whole bunch of stuff that had DQ stayed here. You had the same problems. I mean, rolling out Ezekiel. I mean, what are we doing with Zeke one more time?
What is this Zeke nonsense to release him so he gets a chance to go to a win? Nobody's picking him up.
Hey, man, that whole when they left him at home, they should have cut him. It was done then. But Jerry likes him, so Mike's got to go ahead and go deal with all that stuff the way Jerry wants, because Jerry wanted Zeke around. Mike wanted Zeke gone the first time. You think he wanted him back? No. This is some of the stuff that we just watch, man, and deal with. So, but no, DQ would not have sat. Put it like this: what you have in Washington would not have happened here in Dallas. It would not have happened to me because, once again, look at the personnel. I said all year long the GM wasn't GMing. It's not good.
Well, dude,
Washington broke every time we turn around. It just wasn't good.
Washington had the same dysfunction and malpractice going on until the last 18 months. Everything you're describing, like the coach is forced to deal with the player because the owner likes him and all that stuff. We had it here. We got off that boat.
Yeah,
and it's very now. You and I text a lot. You and I are friends beyond just like our media relationship. You enjoy telling me that the folks in Dallas don't consider Washington a rival. Is that different now that Washington is succeeding and at least with Jaden Daniels looks to have a path towards sustainable success?
Stop it.
You don't think they're on a path to sustainable success?
Look, man.
It has to happen before they believe it.
The team people hate down here is Philadelphia because Philly's just so nasty. Okay, they're just nasty with everything, man. No, and then the Giants. Everybody thinks the Cowboys are their rival except the Cowboys. It's like Texas, man. A&M hates them, Oklahoma hates them. It just comes with the brand. But Jaden Daniels, look, man, the guy's really good. The guy's really sensational to watch. Okay, he's fun. But by the way, the people are like, oh man, Jaden Daniels could be a problem here for a minute. Yeah, we want to talk that about RG3. Show me something over time. Anybody can hit 1 year. Show me you can do it again and again. It's like C.J. Stroud down in Houston. People got all hyped up about C.J. Stroud after his rookie year. Look at him now. This game is people gonna catch on, and then let's see what happens over time. That time will either expose you or promote you. But this whole thing with, hey, what about Washington rival? You got to go do something.
Yeah.
Go do something. Your Philly's been doing stuff here.
And I totally agree with you on that point. Like I say it all the time. When a guy has a great year, I say, show it to me again. Because for me, when you show something, then now I expect it. And if I expect it, then you have to live up to a different level of expectation. But I been around a lot of people, like you said, you mentioned Robert. I've been around a lot of people. This kid seems to be a little special, but I know if he does what he's doing this year, in the next 2 to 3 years, it'll wake people up and say, we got to be concerned about Washington. Philly has been the one going to the Super Bowls. Philly's been the one winning the NFC East championship. That's why they care about them at this point. I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, and the Philly thing goes back to Buddy Ryan. I mean, it's through the years, man. When Michael Irvin's career ended, he was carried off the field. They was cheering on the stretcher. I mean, it's just Philly in general, man. It just involves bad stuff, man. I mean, at the time, Drew Pearson told me he had to leave the locker room and run out to the stands at the vet because his brother and dad were fighting in the stands with folks. I mean, it's just It's just stuff with Philadelphia through the years.
Sure.
But look, at the end of the day, right now, the Cowboys are looking up to what Washington's got going on and looking up what Philadelphia's got going on. Actually, I picked Washington to actually make the playoffs this year. By the way, the beginning of the year.
I remember you were high on them.
Yeah, I think that much of DQ. DQ's a culture changer.
Yeah.
And he brought it here and he brought it there. It's not a surprise. And Cliff, I love Cliff. I love Cliff from his time over there at Texas Tech, and I think he's a really good offensive coordinator. Cliff can keep his ego in check. With some of these guys can't do that are play callers, man. But Cliff can do that, man, and he's not always out here trying to make it by himself. So I just think DQ set up a good staff. Joe Witt Jr. is a heck of a damn play caller. He wanted the job here. I think it was a mistake to let him get out of the building, and I think they paid for it very early on here as they tried to meld Zimmer's system defensively into some of the concepts they were doing without the kind of personnel, and it hurt them early on. But now you're sitting around here, as Jeff Fisher said, with that 79 Bulls, and you tried to get beat on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think – I just read that they might go with Trey Lance on Sunday. Do you actually buy that?
Well, Cooper Rush is supposed to be able to make some bonus money.
If I'm Cooper Rush, you can't keep me off that field.
So I don't know what McCarthy's gonna do. Trey Lance should have been playing 3 weeks ago, man.
Right.
I don't know what they're doing. You gave him a fourth round pick. You paid the guy $5 million, and we don't know what he can do. All we've seen the guy make any meaningful plays are in the preseason. It's just so raggedy. It's like, well, what are we doing around here, McCarthy? Oh, try to finish strong and win. Yeah, Mike, I get it. You're auditioning for a job in other places as well. I get it. But damn it, we know what Cooper Rush is. We know. We don't need to see any more. We know.
Well, if I'm Cooper Rush, I want that money.
Hey,
what they can do? They better go get the Texas State Police to come put me off the field.
Hey, man, Cooper Rush been making a nice bag around here for a long time. So I don't know how much Cooper could sit around here and complain. But the Cowboys have taken care of him very well from a dude from Central Michigan who they let go one time. The Giants came back home and has been living good. So either way, I suspect he'll be back here next year anyway.
I do too. I think Cooper Rush is 2-0 in 2 starts against Washington. I know he's beat him twice. Maybe he started another one, but Cooper Rush has been good against the Burgundy and Gold for whatever that's worth. You mentioned Cliff. We're talking with our friend Newy Scruggs. You can watch him on TV down in the DF Dub. Cliff Kingsbury, it's no secret he's going to be a head coach again. It's a matter of kind of when and where. Do you think Dallas would be a suitor for Cliff?
It's a good question. It's a good question. If Cliff says, you know what, man, I'll let Zim run this defense, I could see Jerry going for something like that. I could see it. But the whole thing and the whole question is about, can you be a leader of men?
Yeah.
And that to me is the question mark about Cliff and all these guys who call plays. Mm-hmm. Calling plays is easy. But it's being a leader of men. And I'll give McCarthy credit there. That's where he really has done a good job. Because you can question some of the play calling Mike has. But in terms of being a leader of men and running a room and getting people to play hard and live up to a standard, Mike's done a really good job there. So I think that for Cliff and for anybody out there, and really in some ways, it's how do you rebuild your resume? Dan Quinn had to do that. When Dan Quinn got here, I was like, man, this dude in this tired defense, like, really? And he rebuilt himself, and he came in, had a plan, and and made sure he was better next time around. I think coaches can improve and get better. A lot of coaches the second time around have had, the kind of success that they want. I mean, look at Todd Bowles down there in Tampa. We saw it with Pete Carroll when he got a second chance in the NFL. We saw it with Belichick. We saw it with Tony Dungy. Could we see it with Cliff Kingsbury? Yeah. I would just love to know what's your program and how are you going to show us you're more than just a dude who can call some plays.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because
that's what you always say about Dolph Turner.
Yeah.
Great play caller, was not a leader of men.
I think Jay Gruden could run offense. Mm-hmm. Jay Gruden can run an offense. The hot name is going to be Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson can run an offense, undoubtedly. I just wonder, Dan Campbell is a human force of nature. Like, running the offense without that human force of nature, I'm not sure how how smooth that runs. You know what I'm saying? Like there is another element to this of the human element that you can't just manufacture.
Yeah, we saw it with Josh McDaniels twice. You know,
right?
Guy couldn't sit around here and be a leader of men and call some plays. Ben Johnson ain't coming to the Cowboys because Ben Johnson will want like $15 million, and Jerry doesn't pay coaches. That's the other thing. He doesn't pay coaches. But that to me is always a trick when you talk about these play calls. I hear people talk about Kellen Moore. I'm like, okay, yeah, can you stand up in front of a room and command it and get people to play? And sometimes we don't know. I wondered if KOC could do that, and clearly he could.
Right.
And he's fantastic. I wondered about that of Sean McVay. Clearly, I was wrong. So this is that question that I would have as an owner if I sat down there with Cliff. Hey, what's going to make you better than you were at Arizona and at Texas Tech? What did you learn?
Mm-hmm.
People can learn.
Yeah.
They can. But what did you learn?
He's been pretty open and authentic about that. Like, he's done some interviews. He talked a little bit about it yesterday, why he thinks he's ready for it in a different role. And just getting to know him a bit this year, he seems to have found, I don't know the right term for this, but like found this like inner calm.
Yeah.
Like he's got this, like, it's not arrogance, but there's this like inner calmness, confidence to him.
It's called athletic arrogance, as Coach Gibbs say. You got to believe in you, because if you don't, nobody gonna believe in you.
Hey, look, there's some positives about Cliff that I would tell people. I mean, here's a guy who played for Belichick, played with Tom Brady in the quarterback room with Tom Brady, and was coached by Mike Leach. He's been around some really good minds.
Right.
You know, and if he can put that thing all together, I kind of think about Pete Carroll, that Pete finally figured it out for himself, and, you know, he took off and became, you know, a legendary coach. Cliff would definitely be somebody that I think any smart NFL owner and GM should say, let's find out more. I go back to Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is a great example of how this league can get it wrong. He was with the Jets. And people just, you know, labeled that he was with the Jets, and he had a bad GM. I think McCagnon, I think, was it. He had a terrible GM. And, you know, luckily through him, he gets with Bruce Arians, and Bruce sets it up for Todd. He gets down there. For 2 years, people kept waiting for Todd to get fired. And for 2 years, guess what? Todd ain't been fired. He's been out here getting it done. And then you realize, well, this man can coach. This man is a leader of men. And then, of course, you think about where Todd came from. Guy sat around here, you know, played for Coach Gibbs. And he was assistant for Bill Parcells. I mean, the guy, and then he was there with Arians. I mean, the guy has been around some people. He knows how to lead, and it's clear once again this team had issues, and Tampa Bay is right there in the mix for a playoff spot. So, can Cliff be that guy? That's the job of why executives need to do the work to figure out how do you find that person. And I would say that about Jerry. Having Cliff Kingsbury on your list of people would be something I would do, and figure out how can we make you better this next time, because they damn sure did it with DQ here. Now, he was better. He did the SWOT analysis on himself to see what his strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats were, and look at what he's doing right now. It's no surprise.
Newy, last thing, because folks here have this pipe dream, and honestly, he kind of plays into it a little. Micah Parsons has talked openly about how much he loves DQ and how much he loved playing for Dan Quinn and Joe Witt and the relationship and all of these things. And the folks here are convinced that Washington's somehow going to trade for Micah Parsons. I don't think it's going to happen. Jerry tends to pay his stars. Do you think there's any way Parsons gets out of Dallas?
Tell me the last great player Jerry traded.
Right. I'll wait.
That he loved.
Right.
He didn't love Amari Cooper because Amari Cooper didn't get the COVID shot.
That's why he traded Cooper?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that got personal.
That's surprising.
Missed 2 games, too. He missed 2 games, and they lost 2 of them games. Oh, yeah. That got personal, baby.
Oh, yeah.
That got personal. Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
That got personal.
I think the people who think that's going to happen, they're losing their damn mind. That's not happening.
I agree. I just thought we'd at least ask boots on the ground in Dallas, Newy, and I thought he'd give us a pretty good answer, and he did.
Go back to when he came out of Penn State. He wanted to be a Cowboy. Wanted to be.
Sure.
He likes the spotlight. He liked them state taxes.
I wish.
Nah, man,
I want no state
dude
taxes.
is here.
Last thing. Who's winning the college football natty?
Ohio State got that $20 million payroll playing, ain't they? They playing, but I won't lie, man. I'll be rooting for Marcus. I'll be rooting for Marcus Freeman out there in Notre Dame.
Not hook 'em?
No.
All right.
No, man. Dude, you know, that's an insufferable fan base, bro.
Oh, tell me about
I mean, these people still crying about Colt McCoy in the damn national championship game by Alabama. We'd have won if Colt didn't get hurt, but he played and he got hurt. It was big boy football. Went out there, got hurt against Alabama. Man, take that L. I mean, no, dude. These Longhorn fans, bro. Oof. Now, I love the AD. Chris Del Conte, my guy, because he was at TCU's, my boy. But man, no, dude, they win. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of them.
Newy, we got a break. Yeah. Otherwise, Landfill's going to kill me. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you on Sunday.
Take care, brother.
Yo, B, JP, Happy New Year. God bless you, and good luck in the playoffs.
All right, bro.
Thanks, buddy. We'll see you this weekend. That's our guy, Newy Scruggs. Give him a follow at Newy Scruggs.